Dungeon Crawler Carl, my first true lit RPG love. Finally, we're together again. So, yeah, I went into the Dungeon Anarchist Cookbook with high expectations. Sky high, stratospheric. Why? Because the first two books in the series are so goddamn good. The first one, Dungeon Crawler Carl, got me into lit RPG, and I haven't looked back. If, however, I'd started with a different series, like no, I won't go there. Not the time nor the place. Some series just hit better than others. Anyway, I went into book 3 of DCC with high expectations, which is always a mistake. This might be my most negative review of a Dungeon Crawler Carl book yet, but it's still mostly positive.
No fluff writing advice. Cut the fluff!
Initially, the Dungeon Anarchist Cookbook felt familiar, safe, in a brutally unsafe sort of way. Classic Dungeon Crawler Carl. And then they had to bring in the trains. Now, I've got nothing against trains. Trains are fine, useful, necessary even. But look, I don't know why. A train never did anything to me. I always despised train levels in video games. I'm having flashbacks just thinking about it. Bubsy, Mission Impossible. I'm sure there are more and I've just blocked them out. Anyway, I put train levels in the same category as underwater levels. That is, the I'd rather eat a bucket of warm cat shit than deal with them category. And the Dungeon Anarchist Cookbook is one big train level. Alright, pass the bucket. When I realised the new floor's train-based, my first thought was, now the author's trying too hard to be original. I know each floor needs to be different, but come on, why get trains involved? But credit where it's due. The complex environment and close quarters do allow for some tense moments, and alright, I'll say some more nice things. Firstly, I appreciate how there's a different dynamic with Mordecai again in this book, as in no, I won't spoil it. I do wonder what the author, Matt Dinniman, has in store for the character next. He's a bit of a loose unit. Mordecai, not Matt, or maybe they both are, so anything could happen. One thing I love about the series is the author seems fairly self-aware. For example, he seems to understand when he's info dumping and does address it in the text at least once. There's a meta commentary that flows through most of the book, and I'm guessing at least some of it's a result of fan feedback, but I could be wrong. At one point, he seems to be responding to fans' opinions of Cartier. Useless, pointless, boring, not entirely wrong. Well, until now. Here's what book 3 does really well, and it's what I've been wanting since the start of the series. The author's finally built a strong supporting cast of compelling and memorable characters, which is great for several reasons. The main one being, now there are real stakes. I know Carl can't die. It'd be like if they killed off, I don't know, Ray in Everybody Loves Raymond. You can't kill off the title character. I mean, you can, and wouldn't that be an expectation-shattering twist? Kill Carl. Honestly, if Dinniman has the balls to even kill Donut at some point, ultimate respect. Not that I want Donut dead, not at all, but to kill off a beloved character does take an enormous set of dungeon-sized nuts. Remember when the writers killed off Daniel Jackson in Stargate? Fans were outraged. The result? He was pretty much back the next day. They just undeaded him, sort of. Long story. My original point, there are now characters other than Carl and Donut I don't want dead. Back to the meta commentary. I've been seeing this a lot lately in the genre, authors defending their questionable writing choices in the actual text. In this case, the author bangs on in the beginning about how lucky Carl and Donut have been, but they can't rely on luck anymore, won't happen again, and then, of course, look, there's always going to be luck involved in stories and in real life. In the Anarchist dungeon, can I just call it the cookbook from now on? Yes, let's do that. In the cookbook, the author doesn't smash you in the dick with his defense. It's a minor mention, but some lit RPG authors do get really defensive in their exposition or dialogue, like they feel they have to defend their writing choices. I'm wondering if that's a result of publishing on Royal Road. They're getting instant feedback for better or worse and possibly responding to it. Now, I don't know if fans' opinions influenced Cartier's character development, but damn, well played. I admit to starting the story a little skeptical of her role in the narrative and overall worth as a character. But as the story progressed, all skepticism chugged away like a train. Great character. Her class and abilities, super creative. So much potential there. Overall, great character development, and I'm sure there's more to come. Oh, quickly, the fan boxes. If a helpful commenter hadn't told me, thank you, I wouldn't know it's actual fans of the series voting on these items, and the results could influence the course of the series. Respect to Matt Dinniman for pulling that off. I'd struggle with, fans potentially derailing the entire story. At the same time, might be fun. So, the cookbook itself, without giving any spoilers, this is the first DCC novel where it feels like the crawlers might have a chance, not just of crawling well enough to get a sweet deal from the dungeon masters at the end, but of actually fighting back, doing some real damage. There's so much potential in the series, so many moving parts already. How many looming threats are Carl and Donut dealing with now? I've said it before, and I will say it again. I love when there's an overarching source of conflict to complement the daily grind. It's all going to blow up eventually, maybe literally. Okay, now for my biggest issue with the Dungeon Anarchist cookbook, aside from all the trains. Ugh. I feel like this book is more setup than forward moving plot. I mean, most of the story is just Carl, Donut, and Katia. She's a valuable part of the team now. It's just them dungeon crawling, not what I signed up for at all. I want a compelling plot, not dungeon based busy work. Who does this author Matt Dinniman think he is? This is false advertising, an infringement on my rights, and there's a hair in my book. Take it back. Get the manager. All right, if I can be serious for a moment, I can, you'll see. Towards the end of the book, the train tedium does get broken up with some big moments, and there's enough straight up good and, most importantly, entertaining writing to make the crawl or the train ride from start to finish enjoyable. My final verdict: one thumb up and a sideways thumb. Interpret that how you will. Good luck. I don't even know what it means. I did pick up book 4, The Gate of the Feral Gods, on sale, so I'll probably hit that before the end of the year. What will they do with Mordecai next? Turn him into a telepathic hat Carl has to wear to hear his advice? I'd actually be okay with that. If you enjoyed this video, hit subscribe. If you didn't enjoy this video, hit subscribe anyway and hate watch my content. That's always fun.